You can count on it. You can count on it. You can count on me. You can count on me too. You can count on it. You can
So, you know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Right.
Welcome to the Three Oak Podcast, where even the artists can be fans. AJ the Menace.
Shane and Pity.
And Cherry TNC, she will be joining us a little bit later. Of course, there is a fly that has returned to the.
Of course.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with that.
This ain't even a debate.
This ain't even a debate.
Wait, is that like Year of the Flies? What's going on?
What's up with that?
Lord of the Flies is happening now?
And we haven't seen him in about a year or two, maybe.
Yeah.
With Johnny's Pizza.
I think it was what? It was 2018.
18. It was 2018.
It was
'cause
early
we were
18.
doing a lot of interviews in 18.
Early 18.
Yep. But Johnny's Pizza is back in the building.
I'm here.
Ladies and
A
gentlemen.
lot of things have changed.
A lot of things have changed.
Life happened. Life happened.
A lot of things have happened. A lot of things have changed. One of them we all saw play out publicly.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get it. I was
yeah.
thinking that my next time here, I would kind of get into like my past.
Yeah.
Because I think that shaped a
No,
lot
we
of...
talked about that.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
You were
but
like,
now it's, you know,
said that.
We've got some stuff in the present.
Yeah. That's definitely taken more like importance. And then
Well,
we
the
have
thing is, it's taken more importance, but I think a lot of my past
Kinda
has helped me.
too.
Has helped me, you know, navigate through this.
Through the most recent thing.
Absolutely.
So for those who don't know, you know what I did? That's one thing I should have done. I should have had the timestamp, like the dates or whatever, even though I know they're in the document.
Yeah.
But we all know that there was a Facebook fiasco, pretty much, that happened with Johnny, where there was a comment made under a WRAL post with his profile attached to it.
Yeah.
And it said some wild.
I've heard it read 1,000 times.
Yeah.
It's still, honestly, it still pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe anybody should have to read that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, so we'll just read it one time, just for the record. I'm seriously tired of all this BLM. It has to stop. You people are taking it too far. It seems like all of you are all you're looking for is a handout. No more. Get educated. Go back to school. Nig. Johnny's Pizza. Now, of course, when this was screenshotted, because the main thing that we most all saw when this happened was the screenshot and then everybody reposting it.
Yeah. And I didn't even know it was happening until he showed me.
Yeah, and a lot of
What's going
people
on?
didn't see said comment under the WRAL post. We all saw like screenshots of people that we were following and friends with.
It
on
was the
Facebook.
same screenshot.
It was the same screenshot on rotation. I first of all, it was crazy. It was crazy. I'd never seen something take off like that.
I had probably 37,000 notifications. On Facebook.
What? I'll never forget it.
I went through them all.
Yeah.
I
It
believe
took me a while.
I believe it.
How did you, real quick, like, how did you find out about it? Like, it just woke up? And,
I woke up and I got a text, and I can actually go to it. I'm curious because I don't even remember what I said.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
But I think it happened. It was around like 10 a.m. Like
In
it
the
wasn't
morning.
crazy early.
It was earlier than that for me.
It was? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because
yeah.
I deal with a lot of people on social media.
Yeah.
It literally said, let me find it. Yeah, I mean, he said, bro, somebody sent me this. This was at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Then the screenshot of the comment. I call him. He said, hey, on the line, call you back shortly. And I said, you know that is some bullshit.
Yeah.
He said, it's not even worded like something you would even say. Was it a hack or Photoshop or something? I wanted you to be able to get ahead of it. And I said, this is crazy. And I did a laughing emoji. And I said, you know, I've never written anything like this in my life. It is obviously some ploy to hurt my name. Everybody knows where my heart stands. I said, I can be called at. I put my phone number and sent this message with my phone number to about 1,000 people. I was like, give my phone number out. I was getting phone calls from all over the country.
I remember. I believe it.
And I said, I have nothing to hide because I have never written anything like this in my life. Like at that point, I didn't realize how big it was going to get.
Yeah.
So I'm
I was just going to ask you that if it was still like, it's
no,
probably
I was
just
like,
something.
this is,
This should blow over quickly.
Yeah.
maybe.
but what I was worried about was that I had been hacked. I didn't know about spoofed accounts at this point. And there's an entire department in Facebook that deals with spoofed accounts.
Catfish accounts or whatever.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
what it is
kinda.
I didn't know that you could literally, just through spacing and stuff like that, you can literally duplicate any account letter for letter. Just with different spaces, and there are blank characters you can use.
Yeah.
So even though it says the same name,
Yeah.
it's actually not technically the same named account. It just appears that way because you can put a blank space as part of the profile name. So and you would never see it. You know what I'm
I've
saying?
I've seen that on YouTube, like where like I think Kendrick Lamar posted a music video, and then Kendrick Lamar posted like a link underneath, and everybody pressed that link, and I think I even pressed that link. I was like, oh, what is this link? And then it took me to some other website, and I was like, oh. Then I looked at the name clearly, and it was just like Kendrick Lamar with 2 R's or something. It was just like one of those, one of those little things.
Yeah. And I had seen, this has happened to me a lot on Instagram. I've seen a lot of dummy accounts where it's like, they don't use JOHNNY pizza and see it to be JOHNYS pizza.
Gotcha.
And then they'll steal content and put it up and make stupid comments, but never anything like this. That's why I mean a lot of times
especially in the heat
during
of
during
the time that it is. 2020 is all about. I mean, the headline of this year, unfortunately, has been racial division and like the time, and I feel like
political
I look at it. It has an unfortunate look to it, but I also think that there's a positive look to it because I think awareness is the key, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. I mean, this is a discussion that needs to be had, regardless of what happened to me. Yeah, you know, I'm using this as an opportunity to use my platform and my contacts to, you know, highlight this issue because this is something that has bothered me my whole life. Yeah. And so for something that has bothered me my whole life that I know I personally can't make an individual worldwide impact on, and then something like this to bring it to the forefront in a way I never thought possible is almost like, holy crap. Like, I feel like this is almost like was supposed to happen. Yeah, it was like you know what I'm saying. It was supposed to be in your timeline. Yes, I feel like I truly believe that like God put this out there to humble me and be like, you need to put more effort into this race relation situation. You have a voice, so use. It's like I don't know if I would have ever publicly stepped out and been like, I support the black community. We need to do this and this. You need to be donating here. I mean, this has created the craziest shitstorm for me. I'm getting more racist stuff from white people than I am black people right now. The fact that I have even been to a Black Lives Matter rally. I mean, dude, people are like, oh man, I've got people who are like, don't ever come to Fuquay. You're not welcome here. Damn. You know, like, so I'm getting more on the white side. Yeah. In terms of, I've never seen. Of sort of violence or something. And now it's weird because it's like I'm almost experiencing, I've never seen racism. From that side. I've never really had racism towards me from black people just because I've always been cool with the black community. But now to see it from like you see what that hate feels like. It's just crazy. Being affiliated. It's crazy. And I've had to tell people, I'm like, because there are people that because of this have said like, they've almost defended me. Yeah. And they've been like, well, I don't care what he said. You know, he's a good guy. And I've called him out and I've been like, dude, if you back me and you believe that I actually believe or said those things and you still back me, I don't want to back you. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had to tell people, I was like, if you're defending me saying those things, get off my page. True.
But that has been very clear for a lot of people. There's a lot of white people who have like said that they've lost like family members.
To where when they took a stand on the black cause, they saw in their close friends and family like the rifts that's caused by them having that stand.
Yeah, and I mean, I will tell you, like I went to the Holly Springs, like Black Lives Matter protest. Yeah, and there was no issue. Yeah. So like a lot of the stuff that people are saying, like it's like violent, and I saw a bunch of people marching, protesting within their rights in a positive way in front of the courthouse, and like nothing but all races, all colors coming together. Yeah. And there was even food trucks and music, and it was like, to me, it was like, it was almost a festival with a cause. It was great. Like I didn't see anything wrong with it. Ooh, and I posted all this live. I was like right in the front, and people were seeing me, and they were like, "This dope, you're here." Yeah. And then to get so much negative feedback, people were chiming in on my live, being like, "What the fuck are you doing there?" And I was like, "Damn, dude." I was like, it almost put something in my mind where I was like, is there something wrong with this?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this seems totally legit to me.
Yeah.
You know, like everything that's being spoke, I was like, is true and positive.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it kind of like messed with my mind a little bit because I was like, now I understand why there's this division because to me, it was completely a positive situation, a positive experience.
The biggest problem with these like type of movements, especially like minority movements, is you'll often get like infiltration, like people infiltrating the movement. So there have been actually a lot of people. I remember seeing a picture of a white guy who actually had like brown makeup on his face, like smashing buildings and stuff like that. When he got like arrested, he took off his hoodie and all that stuff, and you could see it was a white guy with brown makeup on his face. So there's also that situation, and then that makes like people who are already racist are at black people already even more mad at them. It's like, look at what they're doing. It's like, actually, that's you, one of yours. You know, over portraying here. One of us.
And I don't know if you guys knew this, but I had to write 2 days after. Actually, no, the day it happened.
Yeah.
A couple people. I'm not going to involve too many names. Just I mean, these are people who are in this community.
Yeah.
Really, the hip hop community. We're like, hey man, look what I found, and there were posts of people taking blame for doing that. Basically saying, yes, this is all documented. Yeah. So there were 2 accounts of local people in hip hop.
Yeah.
Both of them were black, and both of them's accounts were spoofed, saying, I can't hold it back anymore. I did this. I'm sorry, Johnny. So they were taking ownership
on another spoof account
on another spoof account of being the one who hacked / spoofed my account.
What the
hell is I
going
reposted
on,
them, and they both called me and they were like, "Yo, why are you reposting this?" I was like, "Dude." I was like, this any glimmer of hope. I was like, people are commenting, being like, look, this person admitted. And he's like, that's not even my account. 2 people.
Yeah.
So my account gets spoofed, and I'm obviously white talking negatively about the black community. And then 2 black people in the community, the very same community that I know, take ownership of that. And then what happens? A bunch of white people hop on board and are like, see, Johnny's innocent. It was a black person who did it. Now, all this was happening behind the scenes, but I cleared their name really quick. And I kind of got out there and was like, this is baloney. Like, their account was duplicated. And they were like, how did this happen? I was like, the same thing that happened to you happened to me. They're like, that's not my account. You know what I'm saying? So somebody... and I mean, now that I can't even really talk about what's going on because now the FBI is involved. They're still working a case. They're working in correlation with some other agencies to actually find out who did this. There were death threats on myself and my family because of this, and it was just...
I'm not surprised, man. It was, bro, this happened like... I feel like days like after we started rioting about George Floyd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it was
after there was riots about George. It was like the wound had just busted open.
Yeah.
And then this hit.
Yeah, and I mean, and with COVID, and with I mean, dude, people are tense. I mean, 2020 has been crazy, and it's like I'm finally glad that I've been doing a lot of stuff to alleviate this and like really put my best foot forward in any way I can, and I'm like totally open to talking with anybody. But I'm glad that like I can finally like release some of the data, the investigation took so long, and it's like at this point I'm not even about clearing my name. It's not even about that. Like I to be honest with you, I'm just gonna keep, because I believe time, consistency, and just honesty, openness, and doing the right thing will always prevail.
And they normally will. And that was one of the things that, like, I get what you were saying, too, where you were like, you didn't do it, so you're not pressed on clearing your name, even though in somebody in my position or other people, because that was one of the... I saw it from a local hip-hop person. That's where I saw the initial post as well, too. So a lot of the hate that I was seeing rapidly was from the local hip-hop community, obviously because you were so infused into the local hip-hop community, which makes sense. Because, like, if this was real, this dude that's been having us do all these things, this looks crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that this is how he really feels.
Why would he jeopardize it?
Why would he
and the thing is I've talked with people about that. And, dude, stop me if I'm talking too much, because I haven't had this forum to actually do this. People are like, well, Johnny wouldn't do that because he knows social media and knows business.
Well, see, and that was my thing. So when it first happened, I was like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, I read it a couple times, and I was like, I'm gonna be real. This doesn't sound like something somebody would type. You know what I mean? It sounds a little off. You know what I mean? So then I was like, all right.
I don't even think go back to school. Like what?
Yeah. I was like, so then
I've never even thought that.
Yeah. So then,
who am I telling to go back to school? Do whatever you want.
So then, and then I was like, I mean, just off what I've seen, because mind you, we've all had like, especially like every black person's had a racist experience of somebody that they were cool with. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, man, you could have been kicking it for the last 5 years or 2 years, and then you still did that. Like, I've seen that happen. So that's why,
absolutely.
You know, and
I've never experienced that.
Yeah, and
I've never experienced that, and
there's plenty of people who've like befriended white people and just crossed over. They've had those experiences where they might be cool with somebody for years, and then something like this slip out in like a fit of emotion.
Yeah.
So that's why in the back of my mind I was like, this looks kind of crazy, but it is believable because I've seen situations like this happen before.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, I need to see some sort of proof. So that's why I do appreciate you bringing this.
Yeah.
Now, the dude that actually put this together, Triangles Forensics, I mean, they went in, man. They went in. This is 88 pages. I've gone through pretty much majority. Like I definitely, first of all, the presentation is amazing, but the timestamps, the evidence, everything makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything down to when you first heard about it, to when the comment was the timestamp of your IP hitting WRAL website, to you finding out via text message. The log is in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The call log on when he received the message, the imprint on when he entered the Facebook on his device, the imprint of when he went to the WRAL post to check it. You know what I mean? Going back to his page, like all the imprint, everything matches up between evidence, and that's outside of like
I wish that I would have known sooner. I would have loved to go to WRAL's page, record my screen, and click on that profile.
Yeah,
because the
true.
profile would have been garbage, and I
Yeah.
could have released that and saved
a lot of time.
a lot of time,
A lot of
effort,
time.
stress, panic for my family. I actually had to move out of my home for like 3 weeks.
Shit, I don't
Yeah,
blame you.
we were at different hotels, and no, this
don't
was
blame
all
you.
the feds made us, and
Yeah, I
I
don't
stayed in
blame
a
you
different
too.
hotel from my family. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But,
When there's a spike of hate,
Yeah,
you gotta separate yourself.
when people say Johnny wouldn't do that because he wouldn't jeopardize or is too, I hate that.
Yeah.
I won't defend that stance because that means that I could think that way, and just because I'm a good businessman, I wouldn't post that. To me, that doesn't solve anything. Because that means that I'm just a racist who's too smart to show it.
Yeah.
True.
Screw
Yeah,
that.
true.
Screw that.
And there's plenty of those too.
Yes.
There's plenty of
That's
that.
why it's not
Yeah.
so like.
So and
hard
also,
to
I'm not
believe.
like just one night letting that slip.
Yeah.
If those who know me
Yeah.
know one thing.
Yeah.
If I am something, I am going to be the extreme of that.
Yeah.
If I was a racist, I would be the most racist person you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I would be exploiting that, and I would be living that because I see the people that are racist and how they live.
Actually living
and
it.
I would be freaking trying to
With
outdo
them.
them
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
racism.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting. I've always believed that people breathe the same air. They bleed the same blood. I don't look at skin color. And I'm raising my children to not see skin color.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We do these books, and I read them with my son. And my son, a lot of people don't know this, he's on the spectrum. So he has mild autism. And, like, it's crazy to me that other kids his age see things that he doesn't see, and it's almost a blessing. We read the books, and the books like how to share, how to be truthful, and there are these books that kind of tell a story, and he doesn't see color in these books.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this person different? And he's like, no, it's a boy, it's a girl, and it just like makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
That, and they have kids, with handicaps in the book.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
kind of show these school situations.
Yeah.
And it's great to see him being raised in an environment where
Yeah, he does have to be taught because that's the thing too. Nobody is born racist.
Nobody,
Racism
yeah.
is taught to you.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if
yeah.
the people who turn
and
out racist,
I was raised in a position where I was brought to North Carolina, moved at a young age, and like I fell in to the black community because they were the ones who accepted me first.
Yeah.
And I was looking for friends. I was 12 years old. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And it was like, let's go ride bikes. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
true,
saying?
true,
And
yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
like, it just worked out that way.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
crazy because I still see these guys like in town and stuff like that, and we still talk. And I mean, this was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is also something that,
And like those guys don't realize.
Yeah.
I think that's why I kind of have like a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah.
Is like those guys don't realize how important they were to me when I
your
was
life,
so
yeah.
lost.
Oh, befriending you?
Yes,
Yeah.
so lost. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm like the scared kid in class, and I just don't know how to talk with anybody. I'm in a new place, and like I was just very insecure and shy.
Yeah.
And like these guys were like, "Hey, you want to come play? Basketball, play sports."
Yeah,
and they
true.
took me in. And then people would be like, "Why are you hanging out with them?" I'm like, "You don't get it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they're seeing from the outside and they're already
Yeah.
prejudging before they even know
and
your
this
friends.
was North Carolina.
Yeah.
I moved from Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I came to North Carolina, it was almost a shock.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
They're
I was
from Detroit.
like, dude, why do these people have a problem? Like, and I thought nothing of it. And to be honest, I mean, it was cool because my parents were totally accepting, and that was just what it was.
And look, we're in the South, man. Like, we're always the last to progress. So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and my dad grew up in Cleveland, and he grew up in a very, very like equally divided high school and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when I started playing basketball, and he didn't see anything of it. He coached the teams, and you know what I'm saying. And he was always accepting of anybody.
Yeah.
And my dad kind of like helped me because a lot of people in the South don't let black people into their home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we were having people over, and I mean, it was cool, So
Yeah.
just to be able to be raised with like understanding parents, I can see people who aren't.
Yeah.
I have employees that it's like, I already know what it would be like,
At your
In your
house.
home.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's like, to me, that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
It's just not. But I mean, I hate to be one of those people that is like, I kind of did fall into it. That's why this needed to happen. I kind of fell into a mindset where like, this is just the way it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a kind of like almost like a sad kind of like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to contribute to it, but
I know it's gonna be that way.
and I'm like, dude, this is just the way the world is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like an ill view because I don't look at many things like that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of hope in humankind. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I just like,
That's one of those things.
that's why I think this happened is it's like, I just got to put more emphasis on like, doing whatever I can to just kind of like.
to make some sort of change.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly, dude, I have such like big view. It's like, I almost want to do something bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's just who I am. And it's just,
Yeah.
I think
Now,
with
after a story like this breaks and social media goes crazy on all platforms, like, is that something like what was that like now? Because then on your page prior, you didn't have anything to where it was like you were going to rallies for black issues or anything like that. And to be fair, my page didn't have anything like that either. You know what I'm saying? But it's like now it's like when you post them, what is that? What's the response like when you do post things like that now?
It's weird. What I'm trying to do, 'cause I never really had a political agenda to my page. It was just kind of me having fun.
Yeah.
So, I
And
mean,
trying to sell some
obviously
pizza.
I incorporated, just my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm trying to do now is just kind of, and I did a lot of stuff like that, like, hey, message me. Like, I'm trying to help. Really, what my latest thing is I'm really trying to find, black startup companies
Gotcha.
that need help in the early stages because I don't think there's resources available in the community for first-time business owners.
Yeah.
Incorporating,
Yeah.
learning how to get loans, learning how to set up a website.
Yeah.
So what I'm kind of using that as my kind of like grassroots way to give back to the business community.
Yeah,
That's cool.
But focusing
Because
in,
something you already have your expertise in.
yeah,
you
exactly.
can
And I
easily
think
teach,
I think it's pretty cool. And I'm trying to do more of that.
Yeah.
Just because
as you're giving back.
Yeah.
I can kind of be, I think, like an outlet for people in need, and I'm just I'm trying to focus more on the black community right now because I think it is in need.
Yeah.
What was it like for some of those people that you saw during the takedown Johnny train? Have you spoke to any of them? You know what I mean? Like
a lot of them have turned, and I mean, a lot of them.
Because I even saw some people saying posts like, even if he does present the evidence, which I have the evidence right here, and you do plan on posting this evidence as well too for public consumption, for if they want to do it themselves. But like, I even saw some people say, I mean, even if he is innocent at this point, it's whatever. The whole dog pile situation. You know what I mean? Like, once one person gets jumped, it's like.
I had one person, and they were like, Johnny, I don't believe you wrote that. They were like, but I have spoken so much about it, and I believe it highlights a lot of the way America is, that even if you were innocent, I wouldn't absolve you, because I think that your story can do more good than absolving you would do good for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if my story can help the movement, I don't care if I looked at as guilt. I don't care how I'm looked at upon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it helps.
Yeah.
So if help can come from this, I don't care about that report.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm kind of out here doing my thing, because it's like, you know, I just want good to come from this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the damage has already been done.
It really
You know
has,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
like, at the end of the day, I'm just going to keep putting my best foot forward and keep doing what I do.
Yeah.
And some people are going to, you know, some of the artists I support financially and help them, you know, they're still going to take the money. They're just not going to, you know, back me as much. But I'm still going to help them, which is cool, because regardless of how I'm liked, and this is kind of how I was raised, regardless of how you're perceived as a business owner, a father, you have a job to do to support people.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean they have to love you for it.
Yeah.
If you're doing what's right, you might not be received as if you're doing what's right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't give and I don't help people, whether that's employees, people in need, homeless people, hungry people, drug addicts, people that I help every day. I don't help them because I want a pat on the back or I want them to thank me. I help them because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So
and I was about to ask, do you feel forced to
I'm not looking
post that
for
stuff now?
Yeah, and that's I was talking to you about this earlier, is that highlighting what I do for the community is not something I do.
Yeah.
I'm doing that now because people are asking, and I'm trying to provoke a response of people giving.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
especially
it.
on a platform.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, that's the only way to look at it. However, it still makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, you're just doing this now to make yourself good and fix your name. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
Like
I've been
damage
doing
control.
this for a long time, number one. So what about then?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You just didn't post about it.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, arguably on the same side of, you know, oh, well, you're just trying to fix a situation.
Yeah.
People say, right? You're just trying to fix a situation. So let's flip back to the businessman part. So basically, I went through all this trouble and let a comment slip that I don't even believe, but people want to believe that I believe.
Yeah.
And now look at all this shitstorm I've created for myself. Forget about it, because if I was just trying to hide the fact that I was a racist, well, the cat's out of the bag now. I might as well be a racist and help nobody.
You got
You know
me.
what I'm saying? Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now it's like, damn, okay. Well, I might as well keep this lie alive that I'm not a racist, and I'm just going to keep donating for the rest of my life and taking care of people just so I don't have to admit something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that seems
it's
like
really-
a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, to hide something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it seems like a lot of time and effort, and I mean, that's what I'm hoping is over time people will see that I actually do care. I
That it
actually
is
do give.
genuine.
You know, and it's genuine, and it's like, it wasn't spawned by this event. It was
Yeah.
happening before. It will happen after.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is that, you know, I'm in a position where I can continue to give, and I've been blessed with the opportunity to be able
Yeah.
to give back where I actually have enough for my family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I could be, you know, blowing it on dumb crap and, you know,
Yeah.
buying Lambos and shit. And instead, you know, I'm actually upping my game and giving back. And it's been good. You know, like there's been a lot of families. And I tell them, they're like, Johnny, I want to put it out there. You know, I've sent, you know, what's your address? You know, and I just have the Walmart truck pull up and just load them with food.
Yeah.
You know, and I have my wife do that because she knows what kids, you know, what are they?
Yeah.
They have a boy and a girl
Yeah.
this age,
Yeah.
and she'll go through there and just,
Nice.
Dope.
you know.
So dope. So what has it been like business wise post this even happening, and even the pandemic? I mean, you kind of had a double whammy.
Yeah, it's a
this
double
year.
whammy, and it's
Yeah.
been, you know, I've been doing everything I can to keep my doors open and
Yeah.
just keep my employees working.
Yeah.
You know, like, to me, any business owner that's trying to make money during a pandemic, these companies of people upcharging for sanitizer or, you know, cutting their staff and try, you know, like
Yeah.
to try to exploit a certain like situation
Yeah.
will never work in business.
Yeah.
It's so short-lived. It will never be a long-term goal. To me, I'm investing in people.
Yeah.
I'm investing in my people, and I'm letting them know that I've got their back, and I believe that will come out later.
Yeah.
There are some.
know what I'm saying?
There are some businesses that are actually like, there are some businesses that are actually like, kind of preferring people working at home, and they're just like, oh, wait, they don't even have to come in.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so and a lot of people think it's like, hey, what's up with that? Like, are they gonna get used to that?
Yeah, I mean,
Look what the cat dragged.
Cherry TNT has entered into the building.
Hey.
how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Cherry, Johnny Cherry.
Nice to meet
Yeah.
you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
You kind of missed the.
Just one of the grins.
We went through the whole forensic,
Forensic.
file.
Damn.
Law and Order.
But I mean,
All right.
he didn't do it though. So it's,
Okay.
he's all clear. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's the gist of it.
The short
That's
is
all that matters. You know what?
He's
That
all
is what
good.
people
Bullshit.
wanted to know.
I just want to make sure people know that I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to
Yeah.
keep supporting the community, and I'm going to
Yeah.
keep supporting the movement.
Yeah.
I have a voice. I'm going to keep doing that. So again, I don't need people to like me to do what's right. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
to me, you're going to do what's right because doing what's right is what's right.
Yeah.
So it's like I implore people, if you know somebody that's starting a business or an artist that's looking to get off the ground, this is the kind of stuff I do.
Yeah.
Because I love seeing people succeed.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you can be a part of that revolution to get somebody started
Yeah.
or help somebody, I say this all the time.
Yeah.
I give money to people that are homeless
Yeah.
because I believe they need a meal.
Yeah.
I don't give money to people who are homeless and record it so I can feel good about who I am and show people that I give.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
And so my biggest thing is that it's all about motives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
And intention.
the only reason that this even looks good is because I was doing this before this ever even happened.
Yeah.
I didn't first
Which
of
is
all,
why
I'm
it looks like
sober.
it's
I've been
coming-
sober 10 years. I didn't just
Yeah.
get drunk one night and what am I going to,
Yeah. Yeah.
obviously. I mean, I'm not, I'm not some like closet racist. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh my God. I mean, dude, if I was I would have been a pretty miserable person keeping that like under wraps for
Hell
42
yeah.
freaking years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would have rather just gone off, gone run wild with the rest of the freaking crazy white people that are freaking chanting this shit 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I would have had a much bigger brotherhood with them
Yeah,
than
true.
me,
You have a red hat on right now.
you know what I'm saying?
Word up.
Exactly. Like I that's just not who I am. So it's
Yeah.
like, again, it's how I can use this for positive and just like a learning experience.
Yeah.
But I'm glad too that there is actual concrete evidence though that it's a
because
dummy account.
And that's one of the
all that
things
stuff.
because it's like the situation in itself, like it's like there's people like me where it's like I already had a shadow of a doubt when the initial thing happened anyway.
Yeah.
But now
Yeah, I
I
was
had
like,
the
I
now
don't know about
yeah,
this.
so we were
yeah.
I will
all
say
on the
that
shadow of a doubt
the
there.
biggest thing, and I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I have taken from this entire podcast right now
Yeah.
is your doubt came from you seeing a white person you befriended
Yeah.
flip on you.
Without
I
question.
never even considered that.
Without question. Seen it more than
so
once.
that
Yeah.
to me is the crux
Yeah.
of what being a black person in America is
Yeah.
all about in
Yeah.
this situation.
Yeah, that's-
I never even considered
Yeah. That shit
that.
like friend in disguise or something like that.
Yeah.
We've had
I've
that.
seen it happen.
I've never
Literally
even
seen it more
thought
than
about
once.
I
that.
can guarantee
Yeah.
you all black people seen that.
And that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
to
So
me,
that's why it was like I see it and it's like
It's happened before.
Now-
It's not.
Yeah, and that's,
Now-
nothing new.
and that's what even we all talked about it. Like, of course, we met that week and we talked about it. And I was like, we've all seen it before, so we were all like, but we were at the same time. A lot of things didn't make sense. Either.
Yeah, I think our stance was like,
we have to wait to see what happens.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like we highly doubt this is true, but we've seen it before.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
But
and,
so-
what, and,
yeah.
and what I've never seen to like mimic that
Yeah,
until this happened, I have never seen white on white racism. Until I took a stance for the black community
Yeah.
in this Black Lives Matter thing. I'm like,
Right.
They were
I
on
was
your
like,
head.
holy, I was like, there are white people who
really
freaking hate me.
Yeah.
I was
Because
like,
you
this
support
is the
black
weirdest
people.
thing ever.
Yeah, man.
I was like,
yeah,
this is
and
crazy.
it's like I feel like like now that we like there's evidence that's going to be put out around the same time that the podcast drops. But like, because even people like me, even though I had the shadow of the doubt, I know I didn't plan on doing any interviews or anything because I was like, we got to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? Like before, and I don't mind figuring it out here, but it's like, and we took our time. You know what I mean? Like we talked about it when it first happened, and I was like, and you told me you were like, I'm having a private investigator look into it. I said, bro, as soon as you have that information back, just shoot it over to me, and you did that.
It was a long process.
Yeah, it was
a long process, and
but when you look at this though, you're like, it makes sense.
This is phase one.
Yeah.
There's a whole subpoena with Facebook. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to come out.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I talked with him and I said, I don't want anybody to get in trouble.
Like, you don't want to press any charges on
None.
anybody. Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that the person who did this even thought that it would get this big. And I don't want there to be retribution on that person.
Yeah.
Because they made a mistake too. And I've made mistakes that I've paid for that I wish I didn't have to pay for, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. You know what I'm saying? I've made a lot of mistakes, and, you know, I've been to prison, and I did long jail times because of drugs and addiction, and I own that.
Yeah.
But, like, I just don't want to see somebody else get in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, because they would get hit with some charges. Though,
yeah, I mean,
no, without question. Because look, I was over here thinking, I'm sticking them up for everything.
I know. The thing is,
but I get where you're coming from.
I'm such an understanding person that I'm willing, like,
and compassionate.
now I'm compassionate only because what really happened.
Yeah.
What was the outcome? Does somebody really need to be tarnished with some type of charge for the rest of their life because
when
of
it's
what
kind of
they
put
did to
you, it puts you in a position, more of a position that you probably should have been in anyway.
Anyway, right.
Yeah.
Now, if some of the threats had come to fruition and
That
something
would have been a
happened to my
different
kids
story.
or wife,
Yeah, that'd have been a
this is
different story.
completely different situation.
Yeah, that's
We're
a
not-
fact. That's a
I don't
fact.
even know if we're having this conversation.
No, we don't have to, but I can understand.
No, I'm saying I don't know if we would even be talking right now.
Oh no, I know what you're
might
saying.
be like Rambo.
Yeah. I feel that.
I'm going for him myself.
Yeah, I feel that. Though,
I might be like out there in a
because I
different
know you
fashion.
saw some crazy shit. I know you did. Like from black and white people.
Yeah.
But you said
Yeah.
mainly white people
Yes.
that you saw the craziest
Yes.
things from.
Yes.
And so it's like, but yeah, like people. So that's why I was like, it's cool now. But I still wonder, and like, do you plan on working with those? Do you see yourself working with those people who like? Some people really took initiative in like going in.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and tarnishing your name.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
and it was like, and these,
without-
and some of these people, or a lot of these people, I've seen you work with them.
Yes,
before.
well, let me
You
tell
know
you
what I
this
mean?
right now. A lot of the people who went in, I've talked with them,
Yeah,
and they have the initial.
yeah.
I don't judge anybody for the initial reaction.
Okay, because it was all
we're talking about a deep,
yeah,
racially infused feeling
That was
within the black
already-
community that was already bubbling up.
That was
and then
already
it's
boiling
like,
over at that point, literally,
And
yeah.
you feel backstab. I get it. Like
Yeah.
I'm like clear enough in my head,
Yeah.
and like I'm with it enough
to kind of forgive like the
Yeah,
first
for
24 to
the
48
knee-jerk
hours.
reaction.
Yeah.
There's going to be but a lot of those people have mellowed out.
Yeah.
They've grounded themselves.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously the sad part is I think a lot of it, because of such prevalent racism from white people, they've kind of been like just enough. It's
Yeah.
kind
just
of
another
blended with what they've been dealing with their whole life. So
True.
it's kind of like,
Yeah.
who's, this is just one more. I mean,
Yeah, true.
maybe with a little bit more of a platform and a voice and a like persona, I get that.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's why this kind of, I think, if I was just some guy living in Garner with a Facebook account with 100 people following,
Nobody would have cared.
you know
Nobody
what
would
I'm
have
saying?
cared. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was, that's what gave it the push it did.
So yeah.
So, but I mean,
you're okay. Like you would be open to working with some of those people after you talk to them. Like
100%.
Yeah. And I
and the reason is because at the end of the day, I love the black community. I love the culture. I love the style. I love it. Like, this is how I grew up. And, I've had, like, if people knew my story and seen some of the times that black families have reached out to me to save my ass and checked on me when I was doing jail time, when I didn't get letters from anybody I knew.
Yeah.
And people who really stuck their neck out for me and gave me a home when I was homeless.
Yeah.
They've been there for me
Yeah.
when white people weren't.
Yeah.
So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that I'm getting racism from white people
Yeah.
when I actually publicly stick my neck out for black people. I
Yeah.
shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But if the people actually knew how much the black community has affected me and given me motivation and watching people
And help you get to where
rise
you're at now.
from nothing to something.
Yeah.
When I was given a better opportunity initially
Yeah.
than a lot of people I see making it. That's why when I see guys, and that's why I love hip hop.
Yeah.
That's why I love hip hop. I love other, other rises too that, maybe aren't as appropriate. But, hip hop in particular, and I can relate to those as well. But hip hop.
I'm gonna go ahead and finish. I got something wild to say.
Yes.
But I'm gonna get to
what
it.
I'm saying is that like hip hop to me encompasses the culture, and I
Yeah.
also like seeing it, that motivates me.
Yeah.
Because it says something that I didn't have as much of a distance to make it because of my skin and because of my of just the privilege I was given and not growing up in an economically distressed area and going to better schools and stuff like that. I was given a better shot.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
what's unfair.
Yeah.
And that's what I think needs to change.
Yeah.
So to see somebody come from the lowest spots in America and make it,
Yeah. It's
that
beautiful
is
to-
like,
and then to have a soundtrack
that
to it
makes
too.
that makes me happy.
Yeah.
And then they tell their story.
Yeah.
And I want to emulate that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
In your own,
like
in your own lane.
like
Yeah.
I love just, and I mean, I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just love seeing people make it. And,
Yeah.
I just happen to be looking for the people that made it from nothing.
True.
So, and I've been there.
Yeah.
I just, being homeless and growing up in a homeless-esque environment is much different.
Yeah.
Being homeless for a year because you were a drug addict is not the same as being born into homelessness.
That's a fact.
essentially.
That's a
Right.
fact. Yeah.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
a fact.
And accepting that as your life.
As reality.
You know what I'm
It's not gonna
saying?
get better
And
than
that.
seeing that every day, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, that messes with you. And
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't understand that. They're like, oh, well, just fix it.
Yeah.
But see, but
How
that's
can
the
you
American.
fix-
That's the American
pull
dream,
you up
though.
by your bootstraps thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
How can you fix something that
That's-
is so
is-
ingrained in you that
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Or something that you caused with the way that you've shaped your laws and legislations. You've caused that, and now you're telling when they're asking for help.
Yep.
get
So
your
what were
own
you
help.
gonna say? You had
Oh
something?
yeah.
This is crazy, but I mean, hey, I'm just gonna throw it out there. So when this podcast started,
Yeah.
I already had the evidence, right? But then a fly came in.
Yes.
We all just saw the debate, right?
Oh
Do
yeah.
I need to take my hat off?
No, leave it on. But I said a fucking fly just like flew in. That's about to like throw
But
my
what's
vibe.
sad is
So then the whole time I was like, I wonder if this is like divine. You know what I'm saying? Because Johnny's about to get on this podcast and tell us about this situation that happened to him online.
Yeah.
If this fly lands on him, should I believe the fly?
Well, let me just
so
say,
every
flies
time
are
you were
telling the
talking,
there's one thing, and the sad
I was
part
watching
is,
the fly, and the fly refused to land on you. So the fly.
He's not shit.
Vince has one thing on me. He has better hair. I'm gonna take my.
That's true. That's true.
He's got one thing.
So
the
whole
fly
time-
landing on his head would look better than the fly.
Yo, so I'm
And that sucks.
So I'm asking questions, but then I'm like watching this fly. I'm listening to you, but I see the fly, and I'm like, go.
The fly's like Gryffindor.
Is this all just like supposed to happen? If this motherfucker lands, what should I believe at this point?
Yeah.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
It's a
So I was
sign.
like, I said, okay. I started looking. I didn't know how to look at this fly. Like, I hate
In
that. I hate
2020
that a fly in one debate could just like change.
He's
Like,
over here listening too.
and and it's like, and now you think you're part of it. Like, now that's like part of my.
It's like, do
psyche
we
now.
have to like turn to the flies for the truth in 2020?
Yeah,
It's like,
you know what I'm
What
saying?
does the fly
Like,
say?
yeah, that's like, does he land on his head? Yes or no? You know what I'm saying?
It's like Groundhog Day. Is
Yeah.
it
Did
Did
a
you see
shadow?
that he
and
made
then-
fly swatters on his website?
Who?
No, but that is
Biden.
brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was
And it
Trump's
all went
idea
into the campaign.
too.
They were $10.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was Trump's idea too.
That-
Trump know how to get that bag. That's his only thing, though. Besides that, it's like he knows how to sell some shit. You know what I mean? But
Ghetto.
outside of
This is the most
that,
ghetto
that is
campaign
ghetto.
ever.
Trump is ghetto,
This is
man.
the most ghetto election ever.
So since you've been like out here in the field and like really been thrust more into helping like black plights and things like that, and the lane that you've taken as business owners and stuff like that, when you were out, have you been able to like talk to some of the people who are doing like neighborhood things or anything like that? Have they kind of put you? Are you in any of those loops or?
Yeah,
You
I
are?
actually am. Yeah, I'm trying to do more stuff. And what's crazy is right now is that COVID has really put a damper on like gatherings
And a lot of movements.
and
yeah.
just I used to get phone calls.
Yeah.
For like, hey, can you donate to this? Can you donate to that? Like, I have to go out of my way to find charities right now. Most of them are online, and most of them, what I'm doing is, and people are like, do your own research, because I'm like, hey, like,
What do y'all do?
you know, like people. You know, that would be like somebody asking me, where are the best places to get pizza ingredients? And I'd be like, do your own research.
Yeah,
You know
which
what I'm
makes
saying?
sense. Yeah.
Like,
Which makes sense.
So
yeah,
I'm going to ask the black community what the best charities are.
Yeah.
Because if I just Google them, there's
Yeah.
going to be a bunch of SEO pointing me in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's a
You know what
fact.
I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
So
a
it's
fact.
like, why would I not ask people who have seen charities work in their community and
Yeah.
seen the results of various ones to say, like, this one's good, this one, no. Like, here
Yeah,
are
true.
10.
Yeah.
You know, and so what I do is I try to like ask people pretty constantly, you know, and it's mostly again in the hip hop community.
Yeah.
You know, I was glad to at least be like, I understand you don't want to talk with me or you're pissed off at me, but could you
Yeah.
at least give me a few charities that you think are good in the community? And they would do that,
True,
and that at least
true.
opened up the line of communication
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
hey, let me put my best foot forward.
Yeah.
I'm not just trying to like kick it with you and tell you that I didn't do this.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not trying to make every
Yeah.
link up
yeah, exactly.
a forgiveness session.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, what can I do to help?
Yeah, true.
You know,
true.
and there's a couple guys that are like, you know, I'm starting a label, you know, boom, and they said thank you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So it's
yeah.
like, you know, I'm trying to do what I can, you know,
Yeah,
and there's
I feel-
and the thing is that there's money to go around, and I'm trying to do what's right. And again, what's beautiful about the hip hop scene is that I can give to it,
Yeah.
and I don't have to promote it.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can help somebody who's starting a label, and I don't have to be like, hey, look at this.
Look at this thing I
Let me
helped
just
start.
talk about giving to a bunch of hip hop labels on my social media right
Yeah.
now. That would be
Yeah, true,
fantastic
true.
for the white racism.
So
Yeah,
it-
yeah,
so-
that's
yeah. So you still got a couple. You still got, even though you try to make sure you post a couple things, you still have things that you're able to get off to the side that you don't have to worry about being like,
Yeah.
oh, I helped you out in this lane.
Exactly. And I would never call on that. See, the thing is that a lot of people think like I would never call for any, you know, any favors or anything like that.
Yeah.
To me, it's all about, you know, to me, it's like all about the definition of love. The definition of love is giving completely selflessly without expecting anything in return.
Exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
definition of love. So I show love by giving, and I don't want anything back.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
I get something back, if I get a shout out, if I get great, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying?
whatever,
Fine.
yeah.
That's on them.
Yeah.
But I like to keep my side of the street clean, and I want to be able to give just out of like,
Discreetly.
respect. And
Yeah.
love, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? 'Cause,
yeah.
you know, I believe that I quite honestly, more than I mean, we can get into other races, but
Yeah.
in America, more than I don't have to even get into the Latino community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
whole other thing, and
Yeah,
you
they have
know,
their own fight.
and I support that
That too,
community
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is just for the sake of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Right now we're focused
I don't
on a
think that
certain issue.
I don't think that any race deserves more love right now than the black community. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
we built it.
Yeah.
We built the country.
You know, and I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, for people
guess
to
I
not,
will.
yeah, for people not realize that,
Yeah.
I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
people to just, you know, and again, I contributed to that in a way where I'm just like, this is the way it is. That's why I think this happened for a reason.
Yeah.
Because this is at least putting a fire under my ass to be like, you know what, Johnny, you can do more.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I believe that this was a divine situation that happened to basically get me more committed than just bringing pizza to hip hop shows.
But you know what though? Yeah.
You know what I'm
true,
saying? Because
true,
I love
true.
hip hop.
True.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But I guess
there's
that is
more to
true
it
though,
than that.
because especially if you're a white person that loves the culture and you're not vocal around those, it's like or you affiliate within the culture, but then like a Black Lives Matter movement is happening, and it's like you better speak up because
Right.
you love coming over here to get money, or you love playing these records and stuff. Like you can't love the culture and not love us too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hand in hand, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's one of those things that like separated a lot of things. And I mean, your situation was just so crazy, just because I know the way yours was all lined up. Like you had to like step back from defending yourself to just waiting for the evidence to be presented so that you could just hit them all at one time. But then I just feel like there's still like the other people who like might have had like small infractions, but it's like some people aren't even like, they're just like doubling down and just like fuck it, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's weird. They need to be called out.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that I just want to freaking show love. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
you
and
just
I'm gonna get to continue to do that. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
2020's been a crazy year. I think that a lot of things are gonna change, and
Yeah.
I think that a lot of things are gonna get better.
Yeah, true.
And that's me being hopeful. And I just am going to do my part. So,
Yeah.
you know, I would love to see a large, you know, multiracial movement,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I don't think that's going to happen without people at least starting small and somehow coming together, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have seen something like that in my lifetime.
Yeah,
and
true.
I mean, you know, when you're 13 and you're like, this will change because you're a kid.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You're like, this is a weird feeling, you know, that people are looking at me funny for hanging out with black people and I'm white.
Yeah.
But this will change. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And
yeah.
guess what? Well, you know,
2020.
30 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Nothing's
saying?
changed,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I can look at history books.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in my personal experience, I
Yeah.
haven't seen much change.
So,
Yeah.
like, just out of curiosity, because I'm looking through like this document right now, and it is very an extensive document,
Yeah.
of course, right? Do you have any like plans for yourself to like share this document?
Yes.
Online.
Yes.
You already
Yeah,
know
yeah.
exactly when you're going to do it and how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 I mean, basically, I'm going to link the document and I'm just
the full
gonna-
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just going to basically be
Yeah.
able to answer any questions.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's going to be supplemental documents coming out that
From
I'm gonna-
here as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Just
and
the initial vote.
those are going to be more like stuff from actual, you know, authorities,
Right.
investigations.
Yeah.
Versus the like an investigator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones
Unfortunately, there's really nobody, unless there's a crime committed, you're not going to ever get a document like this. And any document you will get will
makes sense,
It's, no,
'cause
it's
no
gonna it's
crime
gonna
was
it's gonna be
committed
put it's gonna be released to put somebody in jail.
Yeah.
which
You
make-
know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
something I don't want to happen.
Yeah,
you know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
that,
So
yeah.
it's going to be one of those situations where I'm going to be able to gather. Luckily, you know, without divulging too much, there are people that are helping in this that have relationships with authorities that
Yeah.
are going to be able to gather some information.
some more
so
yeah.
without like proceeding at the fullest. level.
With some sort of
I would
real
feel I wouldn't
investigation.
sleep at night if I knew somebody went to jail over this.
Yeah.
I would not sleep well.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Because that's basically me saying, you know, that minute of time in history on Facebook is really worth somebody's life being affected negatively.
Yeah.
Even though what they did was wrong.
Yeah, it's
whatever,
like it's fucked up, but not
Yeah, but-
enough to be in prison for.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
And I mean, dude, with communicating threats and stuff like that, I mean, dude, you can
Yeah,
actually
that's
do jail time.
Oh
Right?
no, yeah. That's
And
always
the problem
wild.
is,
Yeah,
the
that's
problem
always-
is that the FBI has spent a lot of time on this.
Yeah.
The more time they spend,
The more they find.
the more they're going to hurt somebody.
Yeah, that's
because
a fact.
they have to show a result for their efforts.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
They don't just like build all these cases
Yeah.
just to like let somebody go.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a waste. That's a waste of resources.
That's a
You know,
fact,
and that's just
yeah.
not how our government works. If they put resources into something, there's going to be a result.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to check the box and be like, "Well, did they get something? Yes, okay, good job."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
a
know,
fact.
next, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
case or whatever. You know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were really asking me, like, the police wanted to ask me, are you going to press charges? And they wanted me to press charges on a bunch of people. And I was like, no.
Damn.
And they were like, you know, like, they wanted to press charges on somebody who said they were going to come set my restaurant on fire.
Oh.
And there was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be somebody
Like the death
else.
threats ones.
Somebody else. No, well, the
Any of the death
the
threats.
threat that was bad was when,
Family.
yeah.
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 The thing that really hit me, hit my wife, and hit the FBI was, I hate even saying this on the podcast, was somebody from out of state with a block number said the last thing your kids are going to see is the barrel of the gun.
Damn.
And I was like, I heard that on the phone. I go, you don't mean that. And it was click.
Yeah.
They hung up. And
Wait,
I
they
was
called
like-
you?
I was getting a lot of calls from out of state. That's why the feds got brought in.
Wow.
The feds got brought in because it was over state lines communication.
Wow.
And they were monitoring my phone calls at that time because my phone was blowing up.
What the
So,
fuck?
yeah.
You were literally like,
Being
you was on
attacked.
lockdown for
Like-
real.
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't even stay in the same hotel as my kids.
Witness protection.
So, yeah, so basically I was sneaking in to see my kids. Sneaking into a hotel because I had to stay at another hotel because I'm high profile.
Yeah, yeah.
They were like, you can't be in the same hotel as your family.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I would
which
only
makes
go see
sense.
my kids half the time when they were already asleep.
Yeah.
So I'm like
Right.
looking at my kids sleeping in bed, like hugging them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Wow.
it was something. It was
Damn.
something.
This is a movie.
How do you feel mentally after going through something like that? Like,
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It threatened my sobriety for sure.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I haven't been through something like this. And I mean, you know.
Something so triggering.
Yeah, like I hate to show emotions and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's just not how I'm not like this emotional guy, but
Yeah.
it was tough. This was probably the toughest thing I've been through.
So quickly after it happened, you like went live about it.
Oh, I was pissed.
Yeah. How did you feel like during the live and after the live? Like, did you feel like you
No,
handled that right?
I didn't feel like I handled anything. I was like, it was a knee-jerk reaction, and I was just pissed off as anybody.
You're trying to do anything to make it
Yeah,
stop.
anything to just like get my voice out there and be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was so mad, and I knew I could see a trajectory, so I was just trying to do anything I could. You
To
know what I'm
slow it
saying?
down or
But
stop
I mean,
it,
dude,
yeah.
you're talking about a white guy trying to defend a racist comment.
Yeah.
This is not the first time this
Yeah.
has happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe
not
my
not an
voice
easy
will be
feat to-
different. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't.
Which makes sense though when you're literally getting blown up like that. It's like I'll do whatever it has to take. I'll do whatever I can do to make this stop.
That's
Yeah.
why I wish that I had a video of being able to click on that profile and show.
Yeah.
That would have solved.
If you were able to see the comment
Yes,
in real
exactly,
time, yeah.
exactly. Because I mean, that would have solved a lot of issues.
It really
you know
would
what I'm
have,
saying? I mean,
yeah.
dude, I guarantee you, there's 2 fake accounts on me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine. Let's just say, and I.
Real quick, conspiracy theory. This is one of my conspiracy theories that I developed in my head during this whole thing.
Yeah.
It was somebody, because from what I saw a lot of the hip hop community going crazy, right? So I thought it was somebody that was trying to do a business deal with you at some point, or you've been curving them and it was them.
Oh, we talked about that. Yeah. Saying
That
like
was-
if it was a vendetta kind of thing.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that was my
Trying to get
conspiracy.
back
Who knows?
at you.
Yeah,
Who
that
knows?
was my
Yeah.
conspiracy.
All I can say is this, and this is the truth, and I tell people this, like, just put yourself in my shoes for a second. And now imagine. We get somebody to go create an AJ the Menace personal Facebook page, and you just dog white people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could happen right now, and it could get shared to every single platform. How would
Now-
you defend yourself?
Actually, I don't think that would
it
be
wouldn't
that.
just.
Well, I get what you're saying.
The
No.
same-
I can tell you what was. That's not a good example. I
Because
feel
it
like
would probably
it might boost me into. It might boost me. Unfortunately, like to be
Yeah,
fair.
unfortunately.
But if there was like a fake profile and I was saying wild things about like black women or something.
Okay,
That-
you know what I'm saying is
Or MAGA, like
Yeah.
I mean, support
Or,
Trump.
yeah, or
I
something
support
like
Trump
that.
for
But no,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
not even saying that. What I'm saying is, you would have to ignore a lot of.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
What
yeah.
I'm saying is the influx that could happen, and
It's
all
so
I'm saying
crazy.
is it's 5 minutes. Somebody can
Oh,
do that
yeah,
in 5 minutes.
the whole-
Thank God
yeah.
all of this. Through all of this, luckily my verification is on the table at Facebook and Instagram,
Yeah.
which is why accounts get verified. Because what
Yeah,
if
for
Brad
things like-
Pitt
for stuff like
runs
this.
wild and starts blah 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 blah? They're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's not the blue check account. That's bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't have that. I'm
Yeah.
in the like perfect target for something like this to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not small enough where nobody gives a
But
shit.
you can
and I'm
definitely you can get the blue check off of this situation though.
not- I know that.
Yeah,
I know that.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm working on. And
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
the
yeah.
fact that it caused this
I
much
was like, it
trouble
took
is
this.
one of the reasons why they're taking it seriously.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't verify a lot of like local pizza
Yeah,
restaurant
yeah.
establishment owners.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they do like people on the news. That's why
Yeah,
you see people
which
on the
makes
news
sense.
that are verified with 1,000 followers.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, or you see, pretty much any famous person gets it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
true.
But like to be like a local business owner, it's very hard to get verified.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because like ultimately they just need to know that you are who you say you are.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. It doesn't mean you're famous.
Yeah,
It
at
just
all.
means you are actually who you say you are, which is
Yeah.
why a news person, they can just turn on the news and they're like, yep, that person's reporting. That's their name. Here's their account. They sent us their ID. They
Yep.
clicked verify. Done.
Yeah,
You get it
true.
like this. For somebody like me, they're like, is he really Johnny? Who is Johnny? What is Johnny's Pizza? Does Johnny's Pizza even exist?
Yeah,
What is, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like this could be this whole
This elaborate
facade
scheme that you
of,
put together
of
online.
like this
Yeah.
fake life. We have to
Yeah.
make sure that those locations actually exist and
Yeah.
that I actually go there and I'm not just some person pretending to be the owner of
Yeah.
Johnny's Pizza. You know,
On another country
all
or somewhere.
this
yeah.
stuff, has
Damn.
to, so it's
Yeah.
it's a long drawn out process.
That is crazy.
Hopefully, I should be getting it done in the next month or so.
That'd be nice.
good.
Yeah.
That'd be nice because it's definitely gonna look good.
Yeah, it'll be a lot better because then at least when another account says something stupid, which it will.
Yeah,
I know that's gonna happen. I think that like the racist comment is kind of off the table because now if it happens again,
Yeah.
it'll be like,
We kind of
Just
went
had
through this
another
already.
rough
Yeah,
night.
we
Just
kinda-
had another rough night and figured I want to show who I really am, just out of the blue.
Yeah,
You
With
know?
my account that doesn't have a check.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Just
you
had
kinda-
one of those nights, you know.
You kind of beat it to where like because this situation became so big, like if something else like this does happen again, it kind of cleared you.
Yeah.
You low key could kind of wild out right now if you wanted to. I'm just gonna,
I was hacked.
Right on the podcast. No.
oh, I'm sick.
But just like when you said like in 5 minutes, it can happen in 5 minutes. That's just a testament to like how fast the internet is.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Dude, 37,000.
how information travels in the internet.
notifications.
I was
know?
about to say that
It was insane.
that
It was a crazy day.
yeah,
that
that's
post
I ain't never
spread like
seen-
wildfire.
Probably crazy week.
Like
Yeah, it's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that 37,000 notification. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Before.
Luckily-
that's
it was
crazy.
crazy.
Luckily, it was funny. I went to the 919 day. I was
Okay.
there,
Oh, word, yeah,
and I saw a lot of people I know there. And
Yeah.
they were, like showing love.
Probably saw a lot of people who actually like was on the other side
yeah.
as well.
The ones who were on the Take Johnny
Just because
train.
that's like that's a rally, that's a hip hop. that's a
yeah,
whole hip-hop
everybody was
scene,
there.
everybody
Yeah,
was
it was a
there.
gang of people there. So
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
that was good.
there- I was there, and a lot of people rolled up, and they were like, "Johnny, you didn't say those shit." And I was like, "I mean,
Yeah.
you think I'm here because I freaking want to like get some publicity?" I was like, "I fucking love this music. How could
Yeah.
I not come out? I've been freaking trapped.
Yeah,
during COVID,
true.
Wearing masks and shit. Finally,
Yeah.
a chance to hear some music that I love.
Yeah.
Be local and show some support. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
true,
Yeah.
true.
All the food trucks there, I know all them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah.
it's like it was finally a culmination of like what I love. And
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah, I
I
gotta
had to
go.
be there, you
True,
know?
true. So what do you have planned coming up, like in the next couple months or 2021? Like
do more.
do more.
Do more. I'm
Yeah.
focusing less on business and more on like how I can establish just more of a. I think things just need to die down a little more.
Yeah.
Get some of this, and then I can kind of get involved a little more. I think that
Yeah.
once I want to work on like really getting people an opportunity to really present themselves and like put on some shows, some festivals. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna get into that, and just allow some of that to happen.
Yeah, true.
Like just give people an outlet.
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
And still doing what I do in addiction and the community with that.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that's like
I have a
that's
huge-
yeah.
Luckily, this hasn't affected my involvement in the addiction community.
True.
Because quite honestly, no matter what color somebody is, they don't care about this if their kid is strung out on drugs.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
They're
That's a
like-
fact. That's a
they're
fact.
They're like, you have helped so many people
Yeah.
of all colors.
And thank
They're like,
God
we
that
don't
you didn't-
care what you said. Our kid is dying.
Yeah,
Like, how
if-
can you talk with them?
Yeah.
So I've still been able, like, it's kind of weird. Like addiction, luckily for me, is a base that really sees no color and sees.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I didn't think
racism
about that,
doesn't
but that-
matter in addiction.
it damn sure
it's
don't.
life
It
and
doesn't.
death, man.
Yeah,
it
that's a
doesn't
fact.
matter.
Yeah.
It affects everybody the exact
Equally,
same way.
yeah. If you're
So
addicted,
it's
you're
like,
addicted.
thank
Yeah.
God for addiction, which isn't true, but I mean,
But
thank
yeah,
God
I know
that,
what you-
that community, and trust me, addiction is no different than racism. It exists. It is
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So the fact that I can still give back to that has been huge.
Yeah, that's
you know
dope.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So you'll
that's
continue
been
that.
good.
Yeah, that's good. And then thank God that you didn't even
Yes.
yourself even going
Just
to this
know
trigger back
and,
to
and for
a whole
anybody
way.
listening to this that I do help in addiction, please, no females. I will not give advice to females. In addiction.
Oh,
Their
gotcha.
parents are like, "Can you talk with my 15-year-old daughter?" I'm like,
No.
no,
Yeah.
no,
young,
absolutely
yeah.
not. I know some females who can talk with them, and I
Yeah,
have females
yeah,
that
yeah.
know, but the people who reach out, they're like, "Help my daughter." I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I deal with males
Yeah.
and males.
Yeah, man.
I'll talk with like a 40-year-old woman.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah.
having strugglings with this. Okay.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I feel
No,
that.
that
Let's
makes
just go ahead and stay away from that. Let's
Yes,
not even
exactly.
have
I don't
that
need
issue.
more problems.
Yeah, I
I
feel
don't
that.
need more-
Confirmed racist Johnny hanging out with 50.
The FBI shows up again.
15-year-old addict, like, oh my God. That's a wild headline. That is a wild headline. That is so wild.
Johnny, I've seen what they've done. I see what they've done.
I see what they're trying
Don't
to
let
do to
that
you.
headline fly. Good
Don't
Lord.
give them anything to
Yeah,
you.
boy, because I saw what they did with that comment.
exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine
That-
that.
and you had nothing to do with that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, what?
I don't need more problems.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, man.
This has been a crazy year, just in business and just,
man.
there's been triumphs and like helping people stay working and stuff
Yeah.
like that. There's been downs, family issues. I mean, dude, this year has.
I bet everything was put to test too.
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
Yeah, man. And at least you were able to maintain your sobriety, your employees, your
Dude, it's been.
your family. Yeah.
Dude, more to come. That's
Yeah,
all I gotta say, man.
It's like,
I can tell you this right now. The next podcast, a year from now, 2 years from now, I won't even look the same. Trust me. So much shit has changed. It's like, you know, my drive, my focus, what my plans are, life, what it means, and like how I want to direct. You know, it's gotten to how I want to direct my focus.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm realizing that it isn't all about career. There's so much more to this. You know what I'm saying?
So much more life.
And like, I've realized that because so much has been tested, and I'm able to see a different side to human beings, and I've been able to relate to different people in different ways.
And this is good. And this was that good year where you could see all the people that were in your life as well too, and like kind of and low key like reevaluate all those relationships too.
I did everything. Everything's reevaluated.
Yeah.
It's been an eye-opening experience.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool though to just, you know, be able to like reset. And I think that I kind of like, I had an easy lane. I was kind of coasting. And it's like I needed some trials and tribulations. Sobriety needed to get tested. Relationships needed to get tested. I needed things shaken up a little bit. Kind of like
to keep you on point.
And just to realize that like
because it's easy to fall
take nothing for granted.
Yeah, true.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
like I don't know.
And it's so easy.
I think
to enter
COVID
into
challenged
autopilot.
everybody. I think this, you know,
This year was the year of like reevaluation for lots of people because I know some people where they're like, you know, they were working a job and hustling and bustling at a certain job, maybe a desk job or something like that.
And maybe thought that was their end goal too, their life goal.
We're
And
trying to make it. And then this
yeah.
whole time where you're, you know, you have time to actually like think and you're just like, man,
and really
do I
sit
even
down with your
wanna
thoughts.
work there?
Yep.
You know, like everybody's like reevaluating.
people are reevaluating.
Is this what I wanted to do for real? Yeah.
It's like a blessing and a curse.
I remember I said in 2019, I was like, 2020 is going to be a crazy year. I should have been a little more specific.
But you know what?
I meant like a good crazy.
But you know what though? You know what's crazy is that I feel like a lot of us had this such a
Man, I was so happy during like New Year's.
Yeah,
I
man.
did not.
At the pajama party and shit.
You didn't?
No, you didn't.
Oh,
see
you
my
didn't?
tweet? Oh no, I tagged Leon.
Okay.
Leon was the one that responded. I literally,
What?
I think it was like January 2020, and I was like, bro, this year is gonna be some shit.
For real?
Like
Oh,
literally.
damn.
And
What
Leon,
prompted you?
Leon
You
was
were
like,
right.
no, it's not. This is gonna be a phenomenal year.
God damn it, Leon.
I screenshot it and sent it
It's
to you
your
the other day.
fault.
I was like, look at this shit. I was like, look at this fucking bullshit.
No, but you ooze positivity. Like that.
Yeah.
Positive
He's
person.
He's always so positive. I love that, but I just had a feeling. I was like, bro, something is just like. It's
But that's crazy. But though, even though this year it came in a different form, I feel like for everybody this year. You know what I mean? Like even for us, it was like I thought this was gonna be the big year. Mind you, I've been saying this every year for the last couple years. Like, like,
but every year
you know
we
what
get
I mean?
better though.
But every year it's like things did happen this year. It was a lot of like mental stress. I feel like like mentally for me, I feel like I battled with that the most than I've ever had, probably since I was in middle school maybe or something. You know what I mean? Like or high school. Like get to the point. Like I got to a point where this year I was just like anything that bothered me, I just suppress that shit and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But this year, because we were quarantined and
like
Forced to deal with
man,
it.
I had to deal with everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, so
I just want to stay busy. I don't want to feel anything.
Yeah,
and it's like shit. I can't even go to grocery store.
Exactly, and I did that, and that's literally what happened. And it was like 2.5 months in this year where I was just completely out the game. Nothing happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all movement stop. It was we here, but we ain't really here. You know what I mean? Like zombie land kind of thing. But I feel better now that I went through that though. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it was still a banging year. I just didn't realize it was gonna be like my mental health check, your like where your priorities lie check almost thing. You know what I mean?
Dude,
it was a little bit of everything.
You guys
for
have
everybody.
kept it moving.
Yeah.
Kept it moving. Music's coming out. Like,
Yeah.
All I can tell people is, man, just do what you love, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if this isn't a
second
chance to
time
do
we've
it.
heard that on this
If this
podcast.
isn't the chance,
Do it.
this isn't a
That's
chance.
the way that we've been.
You said,
doing
yeah.
it recently.
No, I'm saying like if this isn't a chance to do that, then when will be?
Yeah.
This is a chance for everybody to reset. It doesn't have to be about money. It doesn't have to be about your career.
It could be as simple as
Nobody
yourself,
will judge you for any changes you make this year.
No, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Yeah.
big time
You'd be like,
fact.
You're right.
I mean-
you can make the biggest change in your entire life this year, and we're just gonna be like, fuck it. Everything else this year is
understand.
crazy
I mean,
anyway.
yeah.
You know
I
what I mean?
literally know a guy who literally sold 2 of his businesses and bought a Winnebago and is driving cross country. And I was like,
That's
get
my
it. I was like,
dream.
get it, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my
Like
dream.
a year ago, I'd have been like, you did what?
Yeah.
I would judge the hell out of him.
Yeah.
My brother who had a name that he was going by producing music for
Change
you
it,
for
man.
10 years.
Yeah.
Like, he changed his name this year to something else. And everybody's like, whoa. Like, I didn't even expect it, you know? So that was a major change that he made. Like reinventing himself.
Nobody will judge
yeah.
you. People are going into business for themselves.
I'm making a huge change too, but we'll talk about that later.
But that is kind of
not
crazy,
just my hair.
though. I didn't even think about that. Like, you can make the craziest change. You can make whatever change you
And
want
we're
this
with
year, and we're definitely going to accept that.
Yeah.
Because
It's like, I understand.
Literally, no matter what you tell me you're about to start doing, I'm be like, who gives a fuck? At this point,
It's like, I'm changing my name to Ralph.
This year has been so crazy. Hey, do you, boo boo? You know what I'm saying? Like, and go all the way in if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I literally saw this week on the cameras. My manager calls me, and he goes, watch the cameras. And I literally saw a guy go off and just go crazy. He had a meltdown in my restaurant because one of the managers was like, could you please wear a mask?
Oh.
And this dude went off.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, this place, I was like, the world's crazy.
Yeah.
This dude was so mad because somebody else respectfully asked him to do something he didn't want to do.
Yeah, and he lost it.
Lost it. Lost it. As if it would be like, no, you can't order that food here. You know.
That same reaction.
No, this was like an actual request, a reasonable request. And by the way, there's a sign that says you must wear a mask to come in. Like this is totally reasonable. And don't act like this is the first place where this has happened.
That's
I can't believe it.
Yeah. I'm literally following what the state
did
said.
this guy literally take a time machine to the front door of Johnny's and just
and miss everything that was happening?
Is everybody a doctor in the future? What's going on?
That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he went off. He went off, and I was like, my manager was like, "Yeah, dude, he's gonna be pissed. He might leave a bad review." I'm like, "Let him."
We got to take that L.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not gonna argue with this.
Yeah, I can't argue. This state. This is legally. You're supposed to be. Yeah, you have to do that.
So
Man, that's crazy.
luckily, it's been good. And I mean, through this, I will say that prior to this, all the frontline stuff was amazing. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Giving to the hospitals at the beginning of COVID was like the highlight of my year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, just seeing those nurses and those doctors so appreciative. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
They didn't have any masks.
That was probably my biggest moment in charity ever. Yeah. Because it was they weren't allowing food in. They had to come verify that I was doing things properly. It was a process just to give.
Just to get
you know
the
what I'm
pizza
saying?
in the building.
Yeah. And I mean, I was and I even got a lot of the shelters to go down. They were rejecting food. They were throwing food away.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, dude, you guys need to get down there, get to Duke, get to UNC, and just park there.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? I was like, dude, they just threw 300 Jimmy John sandwiches away.
Oh, man.
Damn.
I was like, dude, there are hungry people.
Yeah.
Even more now than ever.
Yeah.
We got COVID happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was crazy. And people were giving me, I was catching shit for that. They were like, you're going to the shelters? What about your family? I had to quarantine from my family. So before any of this happened, I was quarantined from my family because I couldn't take it. Yeah. I couldn't come home and be like, did you wash your hands? Did you have it?
Yeah.
I was like, this is over. I was like, I'm moving. I was like, I'm moving to the basement.
True.
I was like, seal off the doors. I was
True.
I was like, I can't.
I'm here. I'm just in the basement.
I can't live like this. I can't live like this. I was like, 'cause I'm out every day. I'm going here. I'm going there.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with people. I mean, I can only wash my hands so many times in a day.
Yeah. You're wearing your mask, but you know what I mean?
And in the beginning, too, there was less information about the COVID itself. If you asked 5 doctors about it, you would get 5 different answers.
I mean, it was intense to the point that we tried a virtual episode one time.
Oh,
you know
we did.
Because it seemed like that's what life was about to be like, where we literally couldn't see each other. So it's like,
to a certain extent, I don't want to say it either because I think I read somewhere the Spanish flu pandemic lasted 2 years before, and then after that, the Great Depression happened.
Damn.
So I was like, history repeating? No.
Okay.
No.
I mean,
to be like this for 2 years.
In Asia, man. I mean, with SARS, they were still wearing masks years and years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it became so normal.
It became a normal thing. It became part of the culture.
I thought it was the pollution thing.
I think it's kind of the style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have a big pollution problem
Gucci
too.
and Louis Vuitton aren't investing more in masks.
Yeah.
I don't want. This doesn't need to be a fashion statement for everyone.
Didn't I just point that out? Point that out once. I was saying with all these custom masks and stuff. I was like, I hope we're not normalizing this. To the point where it's
definitely.
I thought
it's just hard to breathe. So I believe ultimately comfort will prevail.
But you know what though?
No, I just mean design, with personality. I'm just if we normalize it, I'm hoping we're still having in mind that we want this to be a temporary moment in time and not just like we're making this a new thing.
What really sucks is like when I it's so weird. I was letting an elderly woman was walking in Harris Teeter as I was walking out.
Trying to hold the door for
and
them.
no, and I kind of and I smiled at her and I was like, she had no clue that I was just like letting her by and smiling.
True.
That kind of made me mad.
You gotta smile with
You know
your
what I'm saying?
eyes.
No,
You gotta like
yeah.
squint your eyes a
No,
little bit
because
harder.
I'm like, go ahead, ma'am. And she just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, I gave my normal smile, like I got you.
Yeah.
You know, and I
But
was
she
like,
don't
"Man,
realize
she
you're
has
doing
no
that.
clue."
Yeah.
And I was
That
like,
is
damn.
true.
That
That
was
is
like the first
true.
moment
Human
I realized
interaction
that.
is like compromised in a
Gotta
way.
hit. I'm
That
hitting
is
out a lot
true.
of people these.
Yeah, you got to be expressive.
You have to
not.
do it, because like say or you're in like line and somebody's holding their baby and their baby's just dead staring at you, so you might do it.
Right. I had to be doing like this
Like
with my
I
eyes.
did that with a kid and he was like,
The hell is he doing under that
"Oh my
mask?
God." I'm like, you
have
can't
a mask.
You can't see me.
Can't
do,
see me.
So you can't see me do all that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and it was so weird because I always
I'm gonna
felt
tell
like
you. I'm gonna tell you when it might be normalized.
What?
Apple was talking about making the facial recognition recognizable for even when you're wearing your mask. If they do that, the mask aren't going anywhere. But if they do it, because right now I can't unlock my phone with my mask on.
yeah.
But if they make it to where they can like read my eyes enough to unlock the phone, then masks are definitely gonna stay the same forever.
Because it's just so crazy. Because like I always felt like the powers that be always considered consumers to just be a bunch of ones and zeros walking around. But
Yeah.
now it's like when you walk into a store, I'm wearing a mask, everybody's wearing a mask. It's like we're just a bunch of faceless consumers, faceless beings just walking around. We have no identity. Like, it's just
Yeah,
like
true.
now we're even more so just a bunch of ones and zeros walking around.
That's a fact. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just I hope. Hey, 2 more years, man. I mean, no, not 2 more years. Two more months.
2 more months
until
until
this
the-
year is at least over.
True.
Yeah.
I just feel like 2021 would just be like a fresh start, even in chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like let's just start some new chaos.
I mean, it's like we low key almost
Let's
like
up the
burnt
ante.
everything down this year.
Yeah, let's up it.
So it's
Let's
like
one up
Even buildings downtown and shit.
something's got to rise from the ashes.
Well,
you
I
know,
think
Phoenix
there's
style.
still a lot to be seen this year. Just
There's still a
because
lot
the
to
election is
unfold
about
still.
to
Oh,
finish.
the
Yeah, we
election,
haven't even hit the
that's
election
the last.
thing yet.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's the
know
cherry
that's-
on top.
Yeah. The election is the cherry on top.
So
for
we'll
the
see
end of
what
the year,
what
pretty much.
unfolds
Yes.
after that. Is my
That's
belief.
if it is the cherry on top. Who knows? Like we literally went
Yeah.
through so much stuff. Something might pop up like a day before. You know what I mean? So
Something
we don't
crazy
know.
gonna happen, yeah.
Killer bees again.
But low key, like another thing, like with life, man, like when it rains, it pours, and it works the same with the positivity. So I feel like there's a lot of bad shit that happens.
Positivity.
I feel like there's a lot of bad shit happens that like on a yearly basis. Of course, there's like bigger things. It's just like the things that happened early on in the year were so big that we took attention to that, and then from there it just kept going. Like
True.
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I mean, granted, things are in my perception, like my perception is worse than they have been. You know?
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of good.
That
to be
means it
seen,
has to get better.
You know,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
feel like there's
There
a
were
lot
goodness
of good
here
to
and there.
come from
Yeah.
this. Like a lot of the times, like people always say, right, the best shit happens like when you hit that wall.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
once you
yeah.
hit that wall, a lot of the best shit
The
comes
darkness
after.
Maybe a lot of the young
The
darkness
rainbow
before
after the
light.
storm.
The Dark Knight,
Yeah.
the dark. The dawn is as dark as it's darkest just before the dawn or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I can say this: maybe the young generation will
Yeah.
remember this and be like, we worry about way too much. Like they might
Yeah.
be
That's
a fact.
affected in a way where
That's
it's
true.
like all the crap that
Where they saw how America fell apart in 2020, and they were like, "Bro, we're just out here living at this point."
Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
like let's
'Cause
not worry
this could
about
go
race.
left.
Let's not worry about money.
Yeah,
let's not
because
worry,
I already
like,
seen what
yeah.
happened back in 2020
Yeah,
when
exactly.
all hell broke loose.
What it boils down to is that the young people.
Yeah.
Speaking
And
of,
we were speaking
yeah.
about that. We've been speaking about that a lot recently.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
Speaking
got
of,
such high hopes for them.
yeah,
man,
but
for real.
speaking about
they
young,
have to be
young
the one
people
to
though.
change it because the people in power now aren't changing shit.
No.
But see, but here's the thing. I was watching a podcast once where someone who has a kid was saying like how their kid, like I guess because of the pandemic, so they were walking on the sidewalk and somebody else was coming, so they had to like, okay, we have to cross the street or go to another, dodge them, But then he said like once when they saw other people coming up, their child went, "Uh-oh, person," and he was like, "I hope this doesn't train my daughter to fear people."
Yeah.
You know?
right
So
away.
I'm wondering about the psychological effect of kids who are growing up in this time. Is it going to shape human interaction for them. You know, like I can't touch people.
Like,
I
are you
can't,
really
you know?
answering the iRobot face?
Everybody is sickly. Like I can't be near
Yeah.
people. I have to be 6 feet apart from everybody, or
That's true.
you know. So
Especially a kid who might overreact to everything, or
'Cause this
just
is normal to
hyperactive
them.
or something like
Exactly,
that. It'd be
yeah.
just for the rest
For
of their life,
young
they're
children,
you
it'll
need
be
to stay
normal
2
to them.
2 to 5 feet away from me, like for the
You
rest of their
literally
life.
don't
I've
touch
been-
me.
yeah, this is odd to us because we come from a time where we didn't have to wear masks, but they're growing up in a time where early in their life, if they're 4 or
Hopefully
5,
It won't be
you
a
know?
long time.
Hopefully,
hopefully.
that's the thing. Yeah. So hopefully they don't get used to it, but it seems like they might be already how schools are now, online and all that shit. You
I
know?
don't like it.
Yeah, but as
Yeah.
long as it's just this year, like then it'll go back.
That's the positive.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
that's the positive. Yeah, that's the positive thing. We're relying on you, man, to bring us back up. Yeah, hold us together.
God, I love it.
Yeah.
I think the same way though.
Yeah.
I'm only calling it out because I believe in you. And
Yeah, I believe in you.
I've been saying this is gonna end soon every day for a long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like tomorrow, next week.
Or
Man.
you got to believe
Yeah.
it, or you're just gonna fall into it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
because
saying?
and that pit is
And
an abyss.
I've
It
been
is
there.
not
I
fun
fell
there.
into that shit for a while. And
Yeah.
I literally climbed out of that bitch like 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been living ever since. I've been like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah. Better seal this bitch off and keep it pushing. Like, it's the worst. man.
Because in a way, like it's almost as if like if you look at optimism, it's almost like a denial in a sense. Because it's like you
Yeah,
have
low-key,
to
yeah.
convince yourself that things are going to. It's almost like you're in
Yeah, it
a
is.
slight denial.
You got to lie to yourself
Yeah,
a little
it's
bit.
a slight
yeah.
denial. It's like the old saying that like you should be sad when your house burns down. So it's like you go home, you're like, yep, house burned down, things are gonna be fine. We'll
Yeah.
get another one.
Yeah, which is good.
Memories in there.
Yeah.
It's all right to mourn the loss of your house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get to just be like, nope, no problem.
Yeah,
All right, guys, we're just gonna go find a new place. Let's go.
Yeah.
Facts,
It's
facts.
like- it's
But
like-
I guess if you have to do that in order to like
well,
keep
first
it going
you
for
should
yourself.
experience it. You should
Yeah.
experience the emotions, deal with it, and
And
then
And then, there you go.
blind optimism.
You don't deny it while it's happening. It's like my house is fire, but everything's still
Yeah, you
okay.
never want to deny it. You never want to deny that shit.
Yeah.
There were people who were like, things are gonna be fine as the Titanic was sinking.
I mean, the dudes
right
playing-
before they drowned.
The dudes playing it.
Violence.
Whatever at this point.
I mean,
Well, no, they didn't. They kind of just gave up.
that's literally what that was.
They were like, nobody's listening to us.
No, they were like,
Yeah.
music is my escape.
Yeah, right now. We're slanted, but still.
Yeah.
Hell out of the music right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we appreciate you coming through, man.
Dude, anytime.
Yeah,
Helping
man.
clearing everything up for us
Yeah.
and having a good conversation
I'm gonna
about.
I'm gonna have to bring some pizza out for your next one.
Yeah.
Yo,
I was
yeah,
gonna bring
most
some
definitely.
tonight, but I figured it'd be a distraction.
That's the only
Yeah, no,
reason we
that's
brought
fine.
you here,
Yeah,
just for
that's
pizza.
fine.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, they're gonna think I'm.
That's
telling
literally
them
my
off.
favorite food.
I was like, I'm not paying them off with pizza. The night I do the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
It's like, what the hell is going on? Oh, a slice. Thank you.
Yeah, like,
He didn't do it.
Yeah, I believe him.
I'd have been like, if you didn't send me this document,
No, be like-
I would have literally been.
No, I got like-
be like, I'm be real. I appreciate the pizza, boy, but you
No.
ain't. You need to clear some shit up.
No. You'd be like, I'd be like, get your hands greasy when you're touching it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't need that here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You slide the pizza slice.
Yeah, you're like,
like
can't use your tablet now. Need some more pizza.
Yeah.
But hell yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, let everybody know where they can find you. I'm sure they already know. But you know.
at Johnny's Pizza NC, all platforms.
Yeah.
Which
Hit
will
me
have
up.
a check
Hit me
mark
up.
at some point.
If you know anybody that needs help in life, in addiction, anywhere, hit me up.
Yep.
And I will definitely at least point you in the right direction, help if I can.
Yep.
If you are starving, I will help you.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then this is the 3
But you can't always be starving for pizza. I got these people
Oh, yeah.
that reach out. They're like, dude, I'm dying. I'm like, dude, you hit me up every week for pizza.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
was like, dude. I was like, you just bought a freaking Kawasaki Ninja. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
You
bro.
need me. Come on, man.
You're not hungry, bro. You just got a new bike,
Dude,
bro.
you'd be surprised.
God.
You'd be surprised.
That
Like,
is
these people
hilarious.
ask me for jobs,
Yeah.
and then their profile is public, and they're like sniffing Zans on their most recent post. I'm like,
Oh, my
I'm
God.
not hiring you.
Yeah.
Hey,
like,
man, are you hiring them? I'm like, yeah. You can come up, fill out an application. I'm like, click. All right.
All right, on to the next. Yeah, on to the
That's
next.
hilarious.
I'm like, that's just funny. Like, that's your profile, and you're asking somebody for a job. It just, I don't know if they can't put 2 and 2 together. You know
I don't
what I'm
know,
saying?
man. There's a whole. I'm gonna show you that sketch actually when we wrap up. But oh yeah, this is a 3 Oak podcast. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Everything. YouTube,
comment, share,
YouTube,
subscribe.
Spotify.
Tell your friends.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm sure you're gonna tell your friend that this is even out and be like,
I'm gonna be posting.
He told you.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna be
out.
posting it.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna be
we're
posting.
gonna make sure you see it, whether you
Yeah.
want to believe it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but
And I'm
that's
gonna
it.
keep doing what I do,
Yeah, and just
regardless
keep-
Whether
of what
you
you
believe it
think.
or
I'm
not,
gonna do
yeah.
what's right.
Yeah,
Right.
facts.
So
Nice.
All right.
maybe if people really got mad, I would do more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see. That's another
Let's
episode.
see how much shit people can talk, so I can help even more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Test him.
But yeah, we appreciate you coming and peace. We'll see y'all next week. Next week. You know what the fuck I was trying to say.
No, but
Just watch well, we could start over if you'd like.
Hey!
You just watched the 3 Oak podcast instead of listening to it.
You just watched the 3 Oak podcast. Okay.
Thank you for watching the 3 Oak podcast.
Hey, and you should click the subscribe in the box right below.
This guy's a rapper.